Hello there, beautiful internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. Hope you're having a fantastic day and that you had tasty snacks and that you're enjoying yourselves and everything is fine and zen zen. So, I was actually having a conversation with some amazing friends of mine, um, and they are into development, into programming specifically. And I remember that when I started getting more serious about artwork, I met some other people who were in game development, indie game development, nothing anything. It wasn't anything serious like AAA games or anything like that. So, like humble beginnings with everyone. And I always wanted to develop my own game. And I'll do that one day when I'll have the cash and when I'll be, you know, in a more in a better situation where opportunities arise. And initially, when I discovered this game development environment, mm, my first interaction was to do like icons, UI elements, and so on, and it was quite nice. But it didn't quite last the project. It didn't finalize. Eventually, I learned more about modding and I started doing my own things. Well, just visual mods, nothing related to coding. And I did realize one thing. You can do a game alone. It's extremely difficult, especially if you do everything from scratch. And from what I've seen, like most indie game developers, especially that are programmers, really enjoy doing their games with assets that are already out there for Unity or Unreal Engine or what have you. So if you want to develop a very good, well developed game, you can't do it alone, in my opinion. You really need a team. And that is because it's about what you're dedicated on. So, for example, I can learn coding, and but it takes so much time, and I'm really not attracted to doing code. And coding in itself is beautiful and it can be artistic, but it's just not my calling. I like to paint, I like to draw, and it's more satisfactory for me. And I realized that if you don't dedicate yourself to a specific task, like a game obviously requires not just visuals, it requires good coding, it requires amazing music and sound effects, it requires good writing. So you can't embody everything by yourself. It's possible, but it's very rare to find developers that are all in one army kit, that develop a game from start to finish from scratch, just with their basic knowledge and whatever tools they find suitable for themselves. But even then, they want to speed up the process because it takes so much time. But speeding up the process also makes you be sloppy sometimes, or you might skip on some details, things might not be so well polished at the end. And this is because you get bored. Doing every repetitive task sometimes requires you to be very tedious, and it's a nightmare. So having a good team with you makes the process enjoyable. Everybody puts their passion on the skills that they have, and you can create a really good products out there. And one particular game that I remember even to this day that is so well made and had so many, I don't know how to, well, the mechanics were just so innovative even for today's standards. It's called Black and White, and it's a game owned by EA at the moment that you can't buy anywhere. You have to buy the original CDs to play. and it's because of some legal disputes, whatever. But the game itself, if you manage to find it and play it, it's just one of the most immersive games that I've seen. Basically, you're a god and you have an angel and a demon that tell you what to do. Sometimes they're best friends. But the point is that you also have a creature that you nurture, and based on how you play the game, if you're good or evil, the creature learns from you and learns from your activities indirectly with what you do with the population. Are you evil to the population? The creature is like a child because it grows from a small creature to a big powerful one, and based on your play style it would be good, evil, or neutral. And each plays differently, each reacts differently, each has different powers. It can even learn magic from you. Quite an amazing game for its time. And the guys that work on Lionhead Studio that developed this game, later on when the studio, I don't know if it's still around or it disintegrated, but those developers moved on and became some of the leading roles in the AAA companies at their beginnings, like BioWare, EA, and so on. So many big companies that now are just, they have just morphed into these soulless corporations that, yeah, do copy paste games. I won't go into those details. Anyway, the point is that as I was talking to these friends of mine that are also developers, they uh, they they really showed me that if you work on a project that you enjoy, it can make the whole journey pleasant to you, for you or for them in this case. Because um, if it's not a project that you enjoy working on, it's gonna become a chore, and you're gonna look at your code or your art and think, this is not what I want to do with my life. I want to spend time on things that are growing me as a person, teaching me new skills and values that I want to pursue. And if you follow that kind of a path, it's not an easy path. Sometimes it's pretty difficult to follow because maybe it's not financially viable, but at least it's kind of pioneering your own ideas. And when you manage to create something that is very unique and you presented it, if you want to present it out there to the marketplace, or to the population or whatever, depends. You can do like free games, paid games. That's your choice. But the idea is that if you find a player base that really correlate with your points of view, your approach to how you developed or you pioneered your game or your work, it becomes really easy to work with other developers. Oh my god, I forgot to close the Discord. And it's that Halloween theme song. Well, excuse me for that. So, anyway, uh, the point is, if you're a programmer, do programming, but follow your own path in programming. If you're an artist related to music or writing or drawing, again, follow your own path. Do the things that you enjoy doing the most, because you create your universe, and in that universe, you have an idea of how you want to expand it, how you want to uh, make it as flexible and as or rigorous as possible for your idea to work out perfectly. Because if you're working on others people projects, it's gonna be their point of view that you have to implement in your artwork, and that can be a challenge. It's nice to work with teams that are developing an idea, but usually I always inspire people to follow their own ideas and attract people who think alike to join that idea and to contribute to that idea. So yeah, Um, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant of mine, and I hope you all create beautiful and amazing content. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Stay awesome. Bye 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 bye.